All right, no, so that yield to maturity for a bond that says at par, let's start from here, consists entirely of an interest yield. But if the bond sells at a price other than its par value, the yield to maturity will consist of the interest yield plus positive or negative capital gains yield. Again, the yield to maturity of a bond for a bond that sells at par consists entirely of an interest yield. So remember the interest to calculate interest yield. Remember that. Remember this. It would have been the coupon divided by the what? The amount price. So if it would be if it's where the bond was we sold at par, you would simplify 100 by 1,000. I would end up with what? 10%, right? So this is basically showing you how to calculate yield to maturity. All right. So the yield to maturity for a bond that sells at par consists entirely of an interest yield. But if the bond sells at a price other than its par value, the yield to maturity will consist of what? Interest yield plus a positive or negative capital gains yield. Note also that bonds that a bond's yield to maturity changes whenever interest rates in the economy change, and this is almost daily. One who purchases a bond and holds it until it matures will receive the yield to maturity that existed on the purchase date. But the bonds calculated yield to maturity will change frequently between the purchase date and the maturity date. All right, we look at the yield to call now. If you purchase a bond that was callable and the company called it, you would not have the option of holding the bond until it matured. Therefore, the yield to maturity would not be earned. For example, if Microdrive's 10% coupon bonds were kept callable, and if interest rates fell from 10% to 5%, then the company who could call in the 10% bonds, replace them with 5% bonds, and save $100 and save $50 interest per bond per year. This would be beneficial to the company, but not to its bondholders. If current interest rates are well below an outstanding bond's coupon rate, then a callable bond is likely to be called, and investors will estimate its expected rate of return as the yield to call, rather than as yield to maturity. To calculate yield to call, solve this equation for RD. So that would be equation for that. So you would solve, you basically are trying to find RD in this case. Now here, n is the number of years until the company can call the bond. Call price is the price the company must pay in order to call the bond. It's often set equal to the par value plus 1 year's interest. RD is the yield to call. Right? Illustrate, suppose microwave bonds had a provision that permitted the company, if it desired, to call the bonds 10 years after the issue date at a price of $1,100. Suppose further that interest rates had fallen. 1 year after issuance, the going interest rate had declined, causing the price of the bonds to rise to $1,494.93. Here's the timeline and setup for finding the bonds yield to call with a financial calculator. So is it this timeline? So this is just using an Excel sheet to do the calculation. Right? All right, yield to call is 4.2%. This is the return you would earn if you bought the bond at a price of $1,490.93. And it was called 9 years from today. Bond could not be called until 10 years after issuance. And 1 year has gone by, so there are not 9 years left until the first call date. All right, so Utica is 4.1%. This is the return you would earn if you bought bond at a price of 1,494.93. It was called 9 years from today. The bond could not be called until 10 years after the issuance. 1 year has gone by, so there are 9 years left until the first call date. Now, do you think microwave will call the bonds when they become callable? Microdrive's action would depend on what the going interest rate is when the bonds become callable. If the going rate remains at RD 5%, then microwave could save 5% or $50 per bond per year. By calling them and replacing the 10% bonds with a new 5% issue, there could be cost to the company to refund the issue. But the interest savings would probably be worth the cost. So Microdrive would probably refund the bonds. Therefore, you would probably earn 4.1% yield to call rather than yield to maturity of 5% if you bought the bonds under the indicated conditions. In the balance of this, we have current yield now. If you examine brokerage house reports and bonds, you'll often see reference to a bond's current yield. The current yield is the annual interest payment divided by the bond's current price. Again, current yield is what? Annual interest payment divided by the what? Bond's current price. So for example, if Microdrive's bonds with a 10% coupon were currently selling at $985, the bond's current yield would be $10.15, 10.15%. So current is the what? Annual interest payment divided by what? Bond's current price. Unlike the yield to maturity, the current yield does not represent the rate of return that investors should expect on the bond. The current yield provides information regarding the amount of cash income that a bond will generate in a given year. But since it does not take account of capital gains or losses that will be realized if the bond is held until maturity, it does not provide an accurate measure of the bond's total expected return. The fact that the current yield does not provide an accurate measure of a bond's total return can be illustrated with a zero coupon bond. Since zeros pay no annual income, they always have a current yield of zero. This indicates that the bond will not provide any cash interest income, but since the bond will appreciate in value over time, its total rate of return clearly exceeds zero. So we look at bonds with semi-annual coupons. Although some bonds pay interest annually, the vast majority actually pay interest semi-annually. To evaluate the semi-annual payment bonds, we must modify the valuation model as follows. So the valuation model you got has been modified. All right. So divide the annual coupon rates interest payment by 2 to determine the dollars of interest each 6 months. Multiply the years of maturity in by 2 to determine the number of semi-annual periods. Right. Second step. Third step now. Divide the nominal or quoted interest rate, which is RD, by 2 to determine the periodic semi-annual interest rate. By making these changes, we obtain the following equation for defining the value of a bond that pays interest semi-annual. And please, I'm going to ask you to write this down. This formula, please. You need to know it by heart. Write it down, please. It's when you are calculating the value of semi-annual bonds. All right? Everybody, please write it down. Thank you very much. To illustrate, assume now that Microdrive's bonds pay $50 interest each 6 months rather than $100 at the end of each year. Thus, each interest payment is only half as large, but there are twice as many of them. The coupon rate is thus 10%. Semi-annual payments, this is the nominal rate or quoted rate. When the going rate of interest is 5%, the semi-annual compound and the value of this 15-year bond would be found as follows. Using the Excel, which I'm showing you as it, but one of these I might show you. We'll show you, but I will see it now. This is it. There have to be figure for the bond, $1,523.26. All right. All right, so that's a fact. I'm going to show you now a past question. Let me do the votes. Let me. So, if the Grace and Ben Limited has $100 per value, 7% coupon bonds, the market that have 10 years left to maturity. If the maturity on these bonds is 12%, what's the current bond price if interest are paid annually, interest are paid semi-annually? So you use two different formulas. Jelly folks, anybody can answer me now, please? Thank you very much. Hello? May I talk to you? Answer me now. Shami and Godsmere. Sash.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, now, question to you. What kind of bond will this be? Will it be sold at par, discount, or premium? See if you know
Premium.
Huh? At what?
Premium, sir.
Premium?
No.
You like you mad. Let's look at it again. All right. What's your name now? What's your name again? What is now theirs? Watch me now. Interest rates do change over time, but the coupon rate remains fixed after the bond has been issued. Whenever the going rate of interest rises above, what is it now? Whenever the what? Going rate of interest rises above the coupon rate, a fixed rate bond, its prices will fall below its par value. Such a bond is called a what? Discount bond, right? That's what I mean. Whenever the going rate of interest falls below the coupon rate, a fixed rate bond spread will rise above its par value. Such a bond is called a what? Premium bond. You still stick with the answer, miss? Charmaine, just talk to me, please, my traffic teacher. No, come on, man.
Yes, sir.
Do you still stick with your answer, ma'am?
If it fall below the coupon rate. So what coupon rate na 7%, sir?
Yes, but which is higher, the coupon rate or the going rate of interest?
So the going rate.
So what kind of bond will it be then? Well, let me know. Watch again, my friend. Whenever the going rate of interest rises above the coupon rate, 12% is higher than 7%, right, darling?
So discount bond.
A discount bond. And when you see YTM, remember that the yield to maturity is the same thing as what? RD, or the going rate of interest. Let me remind you about again. Go again. All right. All right. Suppose you were offered a 14-year, 10% annual coupon, right? One does a year per value. What the rate of interest would you earn on your investment if you would a bond? Is it minority? This rate is called what? The bond yield to maturity. And it is the interest rate generally discussed by investors when they talk about rates of return. The yield to maturity is what? Generally the same as the what? Market rate of interest, RD. Good. So the yield to maturity is the same thing as RD in this case. So in this case, RD is greater than what? Coupon rate. And when RD is greater than the coupon rate, the bond is shown as a what? Discount. Right? So if what they are saying then, it will be necessary to know that the value of the bond will exceed $1,000. All right, good. So all you will do is to use the first formula which I gave you originally. You will use the first formula originally to do the calculation for the value of the bond when the interest is paid annually. Then you would do the second formula I gave you a while ago. We divide by 2, multiply by 2, we use 2 to calculate the other section, right? Good. Next question says, Chase Jamaica Limited has 7% coupon bonds on the market with 9 years left to maturity. The bond makes annual payments. If the bond currently sells for $1,080, what is the approximate yield to maturity for $1,000 per value bond? How would you calculate this? Next question. All right. And then Birdview Limited has bonds and market value, making annual payment with 16% years maturity. So they got for 80% per value. At this price, the bond yields 8%. What must the coupon rate be on this bond? All right, so I'm gonna ask you to write out this question, then I show you the answers, please. Write out these questions, and then I show you the answers, please. Okay. Finish writing? Finish? You go stop something? Eh?
No,
All right,
no.
snap it. Snap it, please. Snap it. Snap it. Snap it. All right, go all right. You have to relog in to get the answers to it. So in for question B, what they are really trying to find is RD, yield to maturity. All right. So, and remember that yield to maturity consists of two things. Mainly, you have if it's only if it's all at par, it will consist of only the interest yield. But if it's not so at par, it consists of both let me see now. It will consist yield to maturity consists of or yield to maturity for a bond that sells at par consists entirely of interest yield. But if the bond sells at a price other than its value, other than its par value, yield to maturity will consist of interest yield plus a positive and negative capital gains yield. So therefore, you have to find Can I move on now?
Yes, sir.
Come in.
Yes, sir.
Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
What is the answer for this now? So those are the answers.
Should I go up? Look at it. Okay.
Wanna take a snapshot of them?
Yes, sir.
So this first one is where notice that the price is what below 1,000 is a discount band, right? Then for next part now, we divide some things by 2 and multiply some stuff by 2. Divide coupon by 2, R by 2, 10 multiplied by 2, C equal. The coupon is $35, R is 6%, and then equal 20 pairs. So that's version of that. Finish. So now this is the other part of the story. So first thing you have to do, choose a rate less than 7% and do some calculation. Right? And then you do your thing. This is a form of it. Now say that each material will equal to small discount rate plus large PV minus bond price, larger rate minus smaller rate, larger PV minus smaller PV, and everything would work out and would give you a figure of 8.924%. So this, what was done, was done using trial and error. Okay. So you use a smaller choose a rate of interest to find a value for the bond, and then you adapt that formula that you have there for yield to maturity. So you have larger present value minus bond price, and also larger rate minus smaller rate, larger present value minus smaller present value. All right. And that will give you that for that. So, oh, sorry. It should be, what he's saying is that it should be larger present value divided by larger present value divided by, sorry, minus smaller present value. So these are divided right here. So, and then when you finish all that now, you multiply them and you get figure of 1.924%. And then together you get yield to maturity. All right. Please, we will continue next class for the last part of the question. All right. Okay, which is Monday. Are you the folks? Have yourself. Oh, no, no worry. Relog in, please. Relog in so you can get the last part of the question. Somebody promised from 10 to 12 days, so relog in, please.
All right.